morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, well, it's pretty good news, because you see, VMAX Climax has been out for a little while now. It's been out for around about a week. And that means that shops have started buying cards en masse, prices are starting to be settled, and that means we can take a look, as we always do, at the most expensive or valuable cards from the set. Now, the usual rules apply here. These are buy prices from a Japanese shop. Incidentally, I found a couple others that seem to be buying for slightly higher. The individual money isn't really a huge issue. The important thing is that the ratios and the order were roughly the same. Obviously, over in the US, these are going to be a bit more expensive because shops need to make a profit. Singles tend to be a bit more expensive over here, etc. But this will give you a rough guide as to which are the most valuable. Although, as I've told you in some videos lately, there is no guarantee these all end up in brilliant stars. Some of them will, but there's no guarantee that they all do. So if we start off at the top, and this makes me incredibly happy, because the most valuable card in the set right now is Full Art Gloria. And you'll know this is a little bit of a surprise to me, because when I pulled Full Art Gloria in my opening with the lovely Antoine Boulet, check that video out on the channel, I did not react appropriately for pulling what is, as it stands at the moment, the best card in the set. It's currently being bought for 11,000 yen. That is about £73 or $97. And of course, then shop are going to sell it for a bit more than that. That is, that's a pretty expensive card, ladies and gentlemen. What is worth noting, and you'll see this as we go through, generally speaking, the prices for these cards are a little bit lower than we've seen for other sets. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I'll be honest with you, the top three are all made up of Full Art supporters. In at number 2 is Gala Friends at 9,000 yen. You're talking about £60 or $79. And I'll be honest with you, I would expect these to flip. I'm not 100% sure why Gloria is so much more expensive than Gala Friends. Gloria's never been the most sought after character in the game. Gala Friends has got all of them on. I was expecting Gala Friends to be number 1 and Gloria to be up there but not right at the top. But as it stands at the moment, that's where we are. And then in at number 3, predictable, but I'll be honest with you, a fair bit lower, we've got Ace Roller at 6,500 yen, which comes in at about £43 or $57. And this one doesn't take a huge amount of working out. Ace Roller is a very popular character, so she was always going to be very high up the list. And those are the top 3, and they are the top 3 by a bit of a margin. Number 4 is about half of Ace Roller. So if you're opening this set and looking to go and get the money cards, you really do want Gloria, Gala Friends, Ace Roller. They are numbers 1, 2, and 3, and everything else is a fair amount lower. To give you some kind of context, the number 4 Full Art supporter is Nessa at 1,500 yen. Which is, less than a quarter. 1,500 yen is like £10 and $13. It's fine, it's lovely. Decent card, but nothing like the top 3, not even a little bit close. Which is a little bit weird to me, because Nessa's always been a very popular character, but then again, the card isn't particularly good, and I don't know, apparently just Nessa, this particular print is not doing it for people. It is not pushing the value up. Now, outside of Full Art supporters, obviously we need to go to the character super rares, and really there are 4 of them that are above all the others, and again, these really are ones that you could have predicted. So in at number 1, we've got Pikachu VMAX, comes in at about 3,500 yen. 3,500 yen coming out to around about £23 or $31. One thing that's interesting, of course, this is number 4, Ace Roller's number 3 at 6,500 yen. This is just a smidge over half of Ace Roller. Now, there are reasons for this. Obviously, the character super rares, they seem to be guaranteed 1 per box, whereas things like Full Art supporters, the other secret rares, you might get 1 in a box, you might not. So, in theory, slightly more common. But then again, there are 42 of these character super rares, so we've seen before, the supporters, a lot of the time now, really do end up being the most valuable and sought after cards in the set. Just below Pikachu VMAX, we end up with Mimikyu VMAX, comes in at 3,000 yen, which is about £20 or $26. Obviously, the fact this has got Ace Roller on the artwork absolutely helps. It is, incidentally, a gorgeous card, but it's an Ace Roller thing, it's a Mimikyu thing, because Mimikyu's pretty popular. It's not terribly surprising that Mimikyu ends up coming up here. And then the other two that really are relevant on the list here are Sylveon and Umbreon VMAX, each of which come in at 2,200 yen, which is about £15 or $19. And frankly, as a man that pulled both Gloria and Sylveon VMAX in his box, I am pretty delighted right now. I mean, I was delighted with my box opening for a variety of reasons, but now that the values are starting to come in and we're starting to see which are the most sought after and valuable cards in the set, my box opening is looking better and better and better. The joint third highest character super rare plus the best card in the set, I mean, that ain't bad, ladies and gentlemen. That ain't bad at all. Outside of that, it tends to drop pretty gosh darn quickly. Morpeko v Union, remember that comes as a 4-part character super rare, but you do get all 4 parts together, so it's all or nothing. You're not going to get one part, you're going to get all 4 or none of them. Comes in at 1,800 yen, so you're talking £12 or $16. Of course, this one is interesting because it's the only alternate art secret rare, call it what you will, V-Union we've actually seen so far. And this one, for me, raises a bunch of questions. Because over here, V-Union have always been promos. And if that's the case with Morpeko, as I think it probably will be, what happens to the character super rare of Morpeko? Does that end up in packs? Or do we just never get it? Or does that end up as a promo as well? Is it in the same box or a different box? I honestly don't know, and it's extremely confusing to me. And then, you know, we've got things like Rayquaza, comes in at 1,600 yen. So you're talking about £11 or $14. Obviously, we're rounding here to the nearest whole number. And we've got things like Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX comes in at 1,500, so you're talking about £10 or $13. And to be fair, Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX is a very playable card, so I suppose that kind of does make sense. The artwork is rather lovely. What about gold cards? Well, they are not doing quite so well. Now, to be fair, Pikachu is the 5th most expensive card in the set. That is coming in at 3,000 yen, which is about £20 or $26. It's up there with Mimikyu VMAX. It's joint with that, which is good. You know, it's a super rare gold Pikachu VMAX, and the fact that it's Pikachu is a big deal, so that makes sense. But it is interesting to me that even if you pull the best gold card, it's not as much as just Pikachu VMAX the character rare, and it's not even close. You know, it doesn't even get halfway to any of the 3 big full art supporters, and this is a little bit weird to me, but to put it bluntly, the big full art supporters are far more sought after than the gold cards. Although, like I've said, once you get past the big 3, the drop is pretty precipitous, and you're miles away. But the big 3 really are the big 3. We've then got Mew at 2,000. That's the only other one that really makes a bit of a splash in terms of value. And 2,000 yen, you're talking somewhere in the region of £13 or $18. After that, there's not really much there. I mean, Duraludon, gold Duraludon, very rare, hard to pull, all of that. That gold Duraludon is being bought for 500 yen, so you're talking, £3.30 or $4.40. Again, these are buy prices, so the shop will sell them for a little bit more, but I do think that's pretty instructive that, to be perfectly blunt, the gold cards outside of Mew and Pika really are not looking that much at all. But if you want to be picking up the character rares, the regular character rares, not the character super rares, things are looking nice. Like, as it stands at the moment, at this shop, which I should say is at TGCNK over on Twitter, Flaffy for 400 yen. That's it. The most expensive of the character rares in terms of how much you can sell it for at this shop. Flaffy at 400 yen, which is £2.70 or $3.50. That's it. That is number one. And that's because Flaffy is a very playable card, accelerates energy, all that good stuff. It really is not a particularly expensive thing. I know the lovely Antoine Boulet has posted about picking up a whole bunch of these character rares very cheap. And there are a load of these that aren't even listed because the shop just isn't really interested in buying them. Unless they're playable cards, they aren't even getting listed on here. And that's good. The fact that prices for singles are so low is a very, very good thing indeed. Because it means that if you want to go buying these singles, you can, and life is good. Obviously, you've got to buy from Japan, and obviously, we don't know what the pull rates are going to be over here, etc. Maybe they'll be far rarer and harder to pull, and so the prices will spike. But as it stands at the moment, things are looking pretty gosh darned good. Although, if we end up in a situation where some of these cards never make it outside of Japan, then things could change very, very quickly indeed. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know which of these cards you pulled if you've opened VMAX Climax. I want to know which of these cards you're into. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.